say my first name? No,
Well, it'd be helpful.
The reason is I was a junior. I grew up and everyone was calling me Freddie. That's my middle name.
Okay. Well, you say your name.
Whatever you go by now.
Yeah. So you asked if you could go by something else?
Legally, it's Charles F.
Yeah, just go with Fred.
Called me Freddie.
Yeah.
My husband is a junior, and his name is Patrick, and he hates Patrick. But his family didn't want him growing up being called Junior, so they always called him Jr. And so that's what he's gone by, Jr. And when people ask him what his name is, it's Jr. He doesn't use Patrick. And the other day somebody's like, well, what's your real name? I'm not calling you Jr. And he's like, that is my name. He's like, no, you're called something else. What can I call you? I'm not calling you Jr. And he's like, well, my real name is Patrick, but nobody calls me Patrick. He's like, I'm going to call you Patrick. So,
I wouldn't have made it that far into the conversation.
Yeah.
I would have been like, apparently you don't need to talk to me.
Yeah.
Because,
everybody knows me as Fred or Freddie.
Just go
with go with Fred,
Okay.
your whatever name you want to go by, and your last name.
Okay.
And then spell them. You can either look right in here, or you can look at Jeremy. Whichever one, just pick one and stick with it.
Because that way you're not looking back and forth during the commercial. So.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, camera lenses don't bother me.
All right.
Okay.
I used to do weddings.
Oh, so did I. Good.
All right. So your full name and spell it, and then we'll get started with some questions.
So go right ahead.
Oh.
Say your name and spell it.
Spell it first.
Whichever way you want to do it.
All right. My name is Fred Caesar, and that's Fred Caesar, but I'm not Italian.
All right, wonderful. And then we'll let Jeremy take it from there.
So again, basically, like I was telling you out there, we're going to talk about your condition and that sort of thing, but in your responses, kind of make sure you're telling us it as a story. So, when I came in and saw Dr. Bush, the symptoms I had with peripheral neuropathy were things of that nature, but I'll kind of guide you through what to talk about and that sort of thing. So,
Should I mention the seminar?
You're welcome to. When we talk about, what brought you to the Bush Chiropractic Clinic, you can say, I attended one of the seminars and that sort of thing. Whatever you're comfortable talking about. And basically, Heather is going to go through and dissect it and take out the best parts and put it together into a commercial. So.
Sure.
And we won't hear what Jeremy says. We're going to cut him out, so we'll only hear you. So if he asks you, how long have you been in pain, instead of saying 5 years or however long, say I was in pain for 5 years. So kind of
like you're telling.
A full sentence.
Yeah.
Imagine everybody watching it out here, and you're telling them.
Just quieter. Okay.
And we'll go over everything a couple times so we get some good material out of it. So.
Okay.
So basically, the things that brought you in, obviously one of the bigger things was that you had some pretty bad numbness in your feet.
Yes.
So what I'd like you to do is just kind of, look out there and tell everybody, talk about what your numbness was like, how severe it was, how it limited you, and the things that you could do, and that sort of thing. So talk a little bit about that. So
I first realized that I had a problem. I was down in the basement of our big house many years ago, and I had a project I had to do at the bench, and we had tile floor, and I was barefoot. I grew up being barefoot, okay. I walked over to the bench and completed my project, and I turned around and I looked down and I said, where in the hell did that blood come from? Here I stepped on a thumbtack, not a carpet tack, thank God. And I had no feeling at all. I didn't know I had it. So after that, I did not go barefoot anymore.
now talk about that again, but I need you to delete the hell out of there.
Hold on 1 second. I need to check something here.
I think it would be effective, but I just don't know if I'm using the commercial or not.
Okay, hold on 1 second, Jeremy.
Sorry.
Watch that and tell me what it does over here. Is it pegging, or is it barely doing anything? Is it? Because I'm kind of concerned that it's not.
It's in here.
Let's take this one.
158 Encore. Gee,
Oh my God.
I thought it was a good movie until, yeah, until they started.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to see that or hear that, you know.
So,
Okay.
they can't have a TV show or anything without a bunch of swearing in it nowadays. Vulgar.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, we're ready. So let's do that again.
So yeah, I mean, I think that was a really good story, just to give people an idea of what your symptoms were like. So talk again, about being in your basement, stepping on that thumbtack,
Right.
and noticing the blood and realizing I couldn't feel that.
Yeah.
Talk about that again and what that was like.
Okay. I had a project to do in our basement at the old house. And I went downstairs. I was barefooted. Grew up being barefooted. And I wasn't thinking about anything like that. I had to use a handrail, and I got down there to do a project at the bench. We had a tile floor. And I walked over to the bench, and I completed the project. And I turned around, and I looked down, and oh my, where did that blood come from? Here I stepped on a thumbtack and didn't know it, didn't feel it, didn't feel anything. And that clued me in. I have a problem.
Now, from that point on, up until when you came in, or when you first started seeing doctors about this problem, what was that numbness like? Talk about how the numbness affected your life, just in everyday, even little things, that sort of thing.
It caused me to break 4 toes, 2 on each foot.
And say the numbness,
Yeah, the numbness was bad to where I broke those toes and no feeling. I got out of the shower one day and I looked, man, those toes are black and blue. And asked the doctor, because I'd never broken a toe before, prior. And he said, well, you must have broke them somehow. Yeah, running into a chair leg or something like that. I did remember running into the edge of a door. So that put my thoughts from the back burner to the front burner. What is going on? What do I have to do? But
that's kind of what drove you to start seeing the doctor.
right. And I saw, we saw Dr. Bush's ad on TV about the seminar. Okay, I think, in fact, my wife suggested it, that we ought to go. So we went. And then I was impressed to the point, well, I'm going to go see him. My first day here, I had to use a walker to come up the steps. Now, those steps were designed for people that have problems walking because they're not real high and they're deep. And it was even before the handrail was put in. That's fine. I made it all right, not a problem. Now, after these months and the cure that Dr. Bush gave me with my neuropathy, I can go up and down those stairs without a cane. And I love it. I can't believe that I've gotten that better that quick.
One thing I want to talk about, because I think this is probably, in my opinion, one of the more amazing stories that we have in regards to success with this treatment. And I know that we're not the only reason, for why it improved. But talk about the fact that you were in a situation where you were close to possibly having to have your foot amputated, and what it's like now. The fact that you don't have to go through that situation.
No.
That sort of thing.
I really didn't want to go there.
To kind of tell that story from the beginning, like just about, because of my problems, my neuropathy, I was close to having my foot amputated. And talk about it, but obviously is how you remember it happening.
Touching back on the cellulitis that I experienced. Do you want me to tell that story also?
No, not for the cellulitis necessarily. Just basically that, you were in a situation where you had a bad sore in your foot, you were
Yeah.
facing an amputation type of situation.
Yeah.
And basically now you don't have anything to worry about in that regard.
I have a few of those scaly sections of skin just above my ankle on my left. It was almost up to my knee, and the bottom of my left heel had a hole the size of a 50-cent piece right in the middle of the heel. And talk about pain. Oh my gosh. I had to practice walking on my toes all the time. I no longer have that pain. And there's no redness, there's no sore, there's no open skin. It's healed.
So you're able to walk normally again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of talk about that, about how you're able to walk normally, stairs, all that sort of thing.
That is a mind blower to be from where I've been. That really blew my mind. My God, I can walk normal. And my balance was terrible. I fell down, well, the first time I fell was off a second step at my insurance agent's office. That's all right. But in the process, I had a cane that day. There was no handrail. I started to fall. I knew I couldn't correct myself. And I'm thinking on the way down, if I land on my hip, I'm liable to break a hip because it was concrete. So I stuck my left knee out. I had 2 1-inch fractures just below my kneecap. I could not bend my leg for how many months, honey? I don't know. It's
4.
how long?
4.
4. Yeah. Maybe the 3rd month I could have gotten about that much. But boy, the pain. My, I have never had pain like that.
What is your stability like now? How easy is it for you to walk now? What is that like?
Super.
So
I don't
kinda
walk with a
tell
cane?
From the beginning that it's very easy. It's easy.
Oh.
Remember, you got to kind of start from the beginning. But
Yeah.
talk about the walking and how easy it is for you now.
If I was in a narrow hall, it wouldn't be too bad because I had the wall. But any place else, I would have to have that cane or a walker, depending on what kind of surface I had to walk on.
Talk about now what it's like for you to be able to walk without any problems.
Super. Great. I'm ecstatic about it. I don't need the cane. I don't even want to look at it.
How do you
And
want me to word this?
Well, let's go back. Let's go back to when you noticed that you had a problem, that you had numbness in your feet.
Yeah.
Did you see any doctors before that, or did you immediately come to Bush?
No, I have had that for several years. But we didn't come to Dr. Bush until we went to the seminar and decided that would be a good route to go.
So you didn't see any doctors previous to
No.
that? No? Okay. And so when you went to the seminar, what made you decide to go to the seminar? And then what did you learn at that seminar that made you want to know that this was the right place?
The
And
ad on,
remember to talk to me about it because
yeah,
I don't want you looking back and forth. You'll be looking all over the cane.
Yeah.
okay. I'll try and stay on you. No, the ad on TV, was, I thought, a good ad, and I definitely wanted to get some help in my problem. So we went to the seminar, and I enjoyed all that he had said, and we decided we'll come see. And how lucky I was. I'm terribly impressed with his expertise, and I will be grateful for the rest of my life. for his expertise and his help. So,
I think that was a commercial on its own right there, wasn't it?
Mhm. So, now that you have your feeling back and you can walk, I mean, tell us about that. Now that
It's-
you've gone through the treatments.
it allows me to go different directions than before. Before, I would try and stay out of crowds and obstacles, of course. Not being able to control exactly where my foot landed. I don't have that problem anymore. And I'm ecstatic about it.
How has it changed things for you psychologically? Have you lost the fear of walking, of being around situations? Talk about that a little bit.
I used to, well, growing up, I played all sports. Ran track every morning when I was in military school, 2 miles every morning. On the weekends, 5 miles. I played soccer. I played football. I played baseball. Wrong Way Harrigan, you remember that? Well, he got the ball. It was flipped out of one player's hand. I caught it, but I ran the wrong way. That's all right. It didn't do anything. None of the sports really did anything except track. When we would have a relay race, they always put me down as the anchor man because I was fast out of the hole. I had half a dozen blue ribbons. No big deal. Just didn't do anything for me. Baseball. I had a guy got up to bat and he hit a line drive right down the line towards me, and I had a brand new trapper's mitt. And I reached up, and it was kind of high. I would say about almost 8 foot. So I had to jump a little bit, but I got the ball. But it was so hard in coming. It was traveling so fast, it took the mitt right out of my hand. But I used to not have nightmares, but think about it when I go to sleep nights. Where is this going to go? Am I going to have this for the rest of my life? No. Being that thankful to Dr. Bush, he got rid of it.
So what's different in your life now? What's
Everything.
your daily life like
Everything.
now compared to before?
I get up and do things that normally before I would hesitate. I used to have a large problem getting out of my chair. I've got one of those chairs that the foot raises it up and the back lays down. I used to sleep in it. I would get up and I would turn too quickly and I'd lose my balance. So I practice, and with the plus that I have in my neuropathy, I don't have a problem with that. I get up, boom. As long as it has armrest, I'll be able to get up easy.
Without that fear of falling.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And talk about how you've lost that fear of falling.
Basically, it has to do with the changes that have taken place. In fact, we moved several months ago, and church group came over and helped us move. We could do the boxes. Anne Marie and I could do the boxes that we packed, but the big stuff like bedroom furniture, couches, and stuff like that, they helped us do that. I went out to my SUV one day to get something out of it, and I slipped on the ice. There was a little bit of ice and snow mixed, and down I went again, same knee, and I was freaking out. What is going on? I still have a mark here and a mark down here from the fall. But there were 3 guys out there at the truck, and they picked me up. And but I didn't have any problem bending my leg then, so I felt good about that. Not being able to walk like I used to be able, that bugged me quite a bit.
How much better is it now that you can walk?
Oh,
Talk
my.
about that. Say, you know,
I
walking for
don't-
me now is
Right, I have no second thoughts.
tell it as
And-
kind of a story though. You know, like if you were talking to people and telling them about
Right.
how walking is now, kind of talk about it in that regard.
I'm now when I walk, I have more enthusiasm. I step out a little bit more, walk a little faster. Like I said before, I'm not planning on doing any practice in soccer next month, but I am anxious to try and run a little bit or walk faster. I'm not going to run like I used to, obviously, because of my age, but my balance hasn't improved that much. I'm excited about it. I'm really excited.
Kind of summarize for me. You know, say you know the Bush neuropathy protocol has done this, and just kind of in one sentence summarize everything that it's done for you.
Dr. Bush's protocol neuropathy protocol has enlightened me to the point where I'm enthusiastic about walking, getting out, going places on my feet, and not using a cane or a walker or a wheelchair. And I have all 3. But they're going to go in the storage pretty quick. I try and think back about people that can't walk, and I say to myself, well, I was almost there, but I'm not, and I don't think I'll even approach that again. And I've said it before, God bless Dr. Bush for what he's done for me.
How do you feel about the staff? You know, and with their knowledge of neuropathy, their ability to answer your questions, care about how well you're getting. You know, can you talk about the staff and
Yes.
how you feel when you come in here?
I haven't had experience with all the young ladies and older ones, but the ones I have, they're extremely professional and very knowledgeable and helpful and polite. And
Do you feel like the staff really truly cares about your well-being and you improving and getting better and seeing your quality of life improve?
exactly. I think I mentioned that before in my write-up. Yes, I really like what they've done for me, and they're precise and to the point. Exactly. Boom, it's done.
What would you tell someone like that's maybe going through some of the same things that you were going through, that had the numbness or has pain? What would you tell somebody that's going through the same situation or similar?
I'd tell them the story, and I would give them a business card with my name on the back.
So kind of just start from the beginning there. Say, you know, if I knew people that had the same symptoms that I had,
Yeah.
you know, talk about, would you recommend them here?
I would ask them a few questions, partially from some of the expertise that I've gained, and if they mentioned the word neuropathy, uh, then I'd have command of their ear for 5 minutes. And I would tell them everything I've gone through. And I would start with the thumbtack and the heel. I don't know exactly way back when I first discovered I had a problem with the numbness. If I indeed saw a doctor, I think I did, but that's been a while ago. But I would suggest, and I would give them a card saying, you need to see the man. I can't, and he even told me he could not guarantee that I would get better. But he said, I'll give it a good old college try. And he did, and I did. And I'm amazed. I just can't. I think about it often. So I can't. If I were a millionaire, okay, I'd have my own TV station and I would have him on it all the time.
That's pretty good. I like that.
So is there anything else that you want to add about Dr. Bush, about the treatment, the neuropathy treatment? How...
His, yeah. My first impression of Dr. Bush when he first saw me, you know, yeah, this is a kind, gentle man, and he's concerned about how I feel. And that's a big plus in my book. And through the weeks that I came, the days and weeks that I came, every time I'd see him, you know, he's busy working on somebody, but he'd come in and we'd jaw a little bit about this, that, and the other, and he'd ask me how I felt, how my legs were, how my feet were. I said, Doc, all right, Anne-Marie has to put on a compression hose on my right leg. Before I had my treatments, she could put it on, and it was tight. It is tight. And the hole where my heel sits in, that would go on, you know. Okay. After I started getting treatments from Dr. Bush, the first time she put it on, well, that's all right, because she looked at me, did I hurt you? You know, no, you didn't hurt me. I just got feeling in my heel. That blew me away.
So you've regained feeling in your
Oh
foot
yeah,
again.
oh yeah.
You'd feel that tack now in your foot, wouldn't you?
Yep.
Is there anything else you need?
Anything else? I think we're good.
I just, in this day and age, and I'm thinking about my own doctor, God bless him. I still love him. He's great. He treats me like a brother. Been with him since 1970. He's a medical doctor, and everybody in Lutheran Hospital knows him. Everybody. I kind of wish that he would learn that technique, but I don't think he will because of his age.
Patients our way. We'll take care of them.
But no, I would recommend Dr. Bush to anybody that had a problem with neuropathy. I can't say about the back because if I bend over in an L shape for more than 5 minutes, then I get a little bit of a twinge back there. But as soon as I stand up, it goes away.
I can't even bend over that far, so you're doing better than I am.
Well,
Somebody told me to touch my shoelaces once. I had to take my shoe off to do it.
This counterweight.
The counterweight.
Yeah, because I got this not from beer, not from eating, but I was in bed for 9 months because the doctor on the 20 broken bones in my ankle, he didn't want to put a cast on, didn't want to amputate. So he just said, lay in bed with your foot up. I did. I hated that bed. And I feel sorry for people that are bedridden. Because I know some of them want to do away with themselves. I hated that bed.
Doesn't exactly keep you healthy, does it?
No.
Mentally or physically. I think that's good.
I think we're good.
All right.
All